you all please stand for the arrival of the procession?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this wonderful occasion. It may be raining outside, but I can guarantee this ceremony is going to be full of sunshine. So you're very, very welcome, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to celebrate the success of these amazing people and all that they've achieved. I declare the congregation is open.
Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you these candidates who have been found worthy to be admitted to the degrees for which they have been awarded. For the degree of Master of Laws, Georgiana Sabina Jakob. For the degree of Master of Arts, Stephanie Louise Evis. Molly Alexandra Jones. Alison Jean Scarsbrook. Maria Thaler. Falan Danielle McNally Young. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Naomi Victoria Ashenden. Susan Batnack. Lisa Margaret Barnett. Chloe Challoner. Scott Wesley Dean. Faye Harris. Rebecca Marie Lancet. Sarah Jane Lane. Peter Richard Lonsdale. Lynn Mataranyika. Edward Charles Thomas Macaulay. Ala Edin Abedi. Victor Bakare. James Matthew Bennett. Roxana Ilyi. Amy Lauren Jeffries. Kaylin Freya Morby. Olivia Amanda Moorcroft. Peter Vladislav Ostrovsky. Sophia Kahindi Sayambade. Lucy Charlotte Whitehouse. May I ask the students who have just been conferred to stand?
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit them to the awards for which they are listed. Many, many congratulations. Well done. It's a pleasure to welcome you all here to celebrate the achievements of our students who have done so much at Keele and will, I know, achieve so much when they leave. If you were here on Tuesday, I think you would want me to speak even quicker and to do a shorter speech, but at least the temperature is a lot better for this kind of occasion. But it's important that we just reflect on what you've all achieved and what exciting things lie ahead for you, and what a journey you've all been on. Your experience at university has been different from most of those who went before you and most who will come after you. You've been through various stages of lockdown, and lockdown is a word that 3 or 4 years ago none of us had a clue what it was about. Through times of genuine fear, it's hard to remember what changes we've all had to endure, and it was tough, but none of us had a choice and we had to adapt, and you did. As a university community, you had to pivot very quickly into using online education in a way that we've never done at scale before. To keep going with your studies at a time of such huge uncertainty and stress is a major achievement. You may well feel that you missed out on things, and there is no doubt that you did miss a lot of the social interactions that are really important parts of university life. This will have been particularly hard for those of you who are in your first year at the time of lockdown. I hope and even presume that many of you managed to make up for it since. I'd like you to remember that you've also learned a lot from the experience, and you've had a real chance to stand out from the crowd in many aspects of life. I'm in no way underestimating how hard it was for you. None of us would have wished it on you at all, especially at the time of life when friendships and networks are developed which can last your whole life. But the adaptability, the resilience, and the determination that was needed to get through your degree was astonishing. In a life when all of those things will be needed, you've been there and you've done it. And when things get tough in the future, which they will, just remember what you've shown yourselves to be capable of. I also hope you recognise the efforts that the amazing staff at Keele have exerted in order to help you get through your degree. They also had to change very quickly during COVID, and were often coping with difficult domestic situations, while quickly and dramatically changing the way that education was being delivered to you. Our educators continue to receive national recognition in all sorts of ways, and I'm pleased that the very recent Student Crowd survey placed us first in the UK, as judged by the responses of our students, which is amazing. I'm certainly proud of our staff and the way they've coped with this, and I think you do indeed all appreciate what they do. It's an incredible achievement. This staff effort is also reflected in the progress that the university has maintained during the last few years. The opening of the new Keele Vet School, with the first students arriving in 2020 and with a new building in 2021, is a huge step forward for Keele, as is the development of the energy park, with 2 wind turbines and 12,000 solar panels. This generates over 50% of our electricity, although I suspect today it may be a little bit less. We take our responsibility for helping with the climate emergency very seriously, and I hope that all of you have developed a strong appreciation of the challenge and what might be done about it. In the last year or two, we've also developed the campus further. For example, through the opening of the new central area at Chancellor's Building, and in what have been described as the most important advances at Keele for years, and being a retailer myself, I fully support this move, the opening of the Co-op and the mighty Greggs. The staff at Keele are always very proud of our students and alumni, but the respect they have for you is even greater than normal. I'm sure that those of you who are family and friends of our graduates are also brimming with pride today, and so you should be. And before we go any further, can I, on your behalf, thank your friends and family, as well as the staff of the university, for supporting you during your time at Keele so well. Today, you can allow yourselves to be very proud of your own achievements. All of you have been on a big adventure that will have challenged the way you think, taught you new skills, opened up new worlds, and set new horizons. You will also have undergone this huge transition alongside students, either physically or remotely, from every part of society in the UK and indeed from many parts of the world. Education is a critical mediator of understanding of other cultures. And this is even more important when the biggest challenges that we face in society can only be solved through collaboration on a global scale. It is with this aim of impacting the future of society around the world that here at Keele we're putting significant attention into new research institutes that are aimed at addressing 4 of the biggest challenges that we face as a global population. These are social inclusion, sustainable futures, global health, and ensuring we all maximise the benefit from a digital society. We have literally hundreds of our staff performing leading research in these areas, and I'm confident that these institutes will have a big impact on society in the years ahead. As I've said, we clearly hope that the environment you've been in here at Keele has prepared you to thrive in that global environment. This background will help you play your part in meeting these big challenges and taking the opportunities that they present with a confidence that will see you continuing the tradition of Keele students having a genuine impact on society. This may be through the professional lives that you undertake, or through the way you live your lives at a personal level. Looking after your own health, reducing the adverse effect that you have on our planet, and showing respect and concern for those in less privileged positions than yourselves are all important parts of being players in a forward-looking and civilised society. You have experienced a rate of change that feels unusual, but it is likely that it will become the norm. And these skills that have seen you through the last couple of years will make you adaptable to those changes. In 20 years' time, many of you will be doing jobs that haven't even been invented yet. So, contrary to opinion in some parts of society, universities are not just here to train you for your first job. So, when situations change enormously, the value of a university education is to put you in a position where you can adapt to these changes and thrive in a modern society. The world will continue to change very quickly, but as graduates, you have developed skills to help you thrive as long as you maintain a personal commitment to continuing to learn throughout your lives. Now, I've got 4 tips for you to think about when you've got big decisions to make, and because we have a number of MBAs and business graduates here, I'm going to just ad-lib a little bit and just give you some of my other business advice too. The first tip when thinking about big decisions is to stick to your values. Whether it's a friendship or a new job, you will thrive in an environment that sits well with your values. You may end up earning less money or have fewer but closer friends, but you will be your best when you're with people who get you and you get them. The second is to work hard. And I sometimes, probably more than sometimes, get this wrong. But I try to focus not on getting a good work-life balance, but getting a good life-work balance. And I've never met anybody who wishes they'd spent more time in the office. Thirdly, please be kind. As an employer, I get more satisfaction by being kind than making money. Funnily enough, the kinder you are as a colleague and as a leader, the more successful you will be too. Kindness doesn't mean you're a pushover, but it shows you care and you value everybody as an equal. And finally, take risks. For me, the biggest risk I took was employing prison leavers to work in my shops. Many people thought I'd completely lost the plot, but I saw talent when walking the prison wings and meeting the men and women who lived there and wanted to give ex-offenders a second chance. And not everyone is comfortable taking risks, but the way we innovate and improve the world is by taking calculated risks. So I'm just going to give you some of the other businessy things that are the sort of way I try and do things in my business. I recognize that little things really matter to people, and just because it's not in the strategy or it's not talked about in the boardroom, it doesn't mean it's not important. So that is why I believe that you need to listen to people, because what they're saying to you is important to them. The second is I operate at the top in the boardroom and at the shop floor. I don't worry about the middle bit because I trust everybody to run the business. And trust is something that is often lacking in organizations where people like to invent rules and processes to stop creativity and to stop the odd thing going wrong. Let the odd thing go wrong, but trust people to sort it out. The next is to take a chance on people. Most of my senior colleagues never probably ticked the right CV boxes. They weren't conventional people. Some had had difficult starts in life, but that doesn't mean they're not good. So I'm a big believer in just using your gut instinct and taking a chance on people. You don't always get it right, but when you do, you find incredibly talented people who are incredibly loyal. My next suggestion is to always have incredibly high standards. Now, a lot of my colleagues ridicule me for this because I keep going on about standards all the time, but I've never known a great organization have poor standards. When I go into a prison, I go to a prison every couple of weeks, and I can always work out how well the prison is run by the standards of two things. Firstly, how many weeds are in the car park, and the second is how much litter there is in the prison exercise yards. If there's lots of weeds and lots of litter, I can guarantee that the prison is not as well run, and the people who live there won't be experiencing a safe and effective prison. So high standards, whilst it's not always the glamorous side of running an organisation, is very important. My next tip is be quick. Answer yes or no straight away. And if you don't know, just say you don't know. It's okay to say, I don't know. And too many people hide behind time and reports and processes when everybody already knows what the answer is. So do things quickly. Most meetings are a waste of time. I know lots of us end up being in meetings where we think we get a little bit out of it, but most meetings are a waste of time. I hope you're very proud to pay your tax. It's a privilege to pay tax, and I think if more organisations and companies were proud to pay their tax rather than avoid the tax, we'd be in a better place. And my last point is to recognise that your colleagues are better at most things than you are. Most of us are only good at a few things, even though some people think they can do everything. But one of the things that I try and do is to recognise that the things I'm okay at, I stick to, and I let everyone else get on with the things that I'm not very good at. And if I don't know what the answer is, I just go and ask someone who works in the business, who who operates that kind of, in that part of the business, because they always know. If I want to know how to cut more car keys, I go and ask the colleagues who love cutting car keys. I don't ask a supplier or go and read a manual or look online. I speak to the people who do it. So, life in some ways is like looking out of a car window. The way ahead has a wide screen to look through. The view is limitless, with so much to see and soak up. There is also one little rearview mirror and two small side mirrors. These are to look back. By all means, look back at your time at Keele with pride, the friends you met, the knowledge you learnt, and the contribution you made. Keele will always be part of you, but the focus is now on your future. This is a university that we hope you will continue to be proud being associated with, and that you continue to think of as part of your personal future. You now join over 100,000 Keele alumni in all corners of the globe. Alumni demonstrate great value to each other and to the next generations of students through their networks and their links back to Keele. Please keep in touch. This place will always be home to you. Make sure we have your contact details, sign up for the Alumni Association, come back to visit whenever you want, and think about one day how you may want to give back to the university in the way it is given to you. Your time and experience will be hugely valuable to us, and you may well feel that you wish to partner with us on various projects in the future. Our arms are always open for you. So that's it. You've made it. You're leaving here with a qualification that cannot be taken away, one that people will respect the world over, and that will open doors and opportunities for you. But you now need to make it work for you. You can afford to be ambitious. Indeed, you owe it to yourselves to be ambitious. It will be tough sometimes, but if you don't stretch yourself and reach for what you truly want, you will always regret it. I hope you, our next generation of graduates, will have seen yourselves as part of a thriving university, a university that has valued your presence, and you can now go out there and make a real difference. So with that, can I, on behalf of Keele University, give you, our new graduates, our heartiest congratulations and wish you good health, great happiness, and enormous success in everything you go on to do. Many congratulations.
Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you these candidates who have been found worthy to be admitted for the degrees for which they have been awarded. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Olivia Birthright. Cameron Ross Cowser. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Adekunle Adeniji. Fariha Ahmed. Farah Anwar. Gobind Singh Bigal. Eleanor Kate Bromley. Sarah Kathleen Clough. Ikra Fayaz. Ebony Goodwin. Mackenzie Louise Griffin. Natasha Higgs. Emma Jane Holcroft. Roland Jones. Jaskiran Jessica Cool. Nawaf Al-Sasain Kaduruth. Georgina Elizabeth Louthane. Kate Lynn Masnick. Adam David Robert Jack McGregor. Alicia Nicole Meller. Arib Nasir Mohammed. Namata Marembe Adekini Musoki. Israel Charles Knock. Hannah Louise Ormerod. Rihanna May Prince. Cameron Max Reback. Bunyaga Kasedi Samambo. Faye Sarah Thomas. May I ask the students who have just been conferred to stand?
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit them to the awards for which they are listed. Many congratulations. Well done.
Please be seated. Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you in absentia those candidates who appear listed in the programme who are not present.
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit them to the awards for which they are listed.
Let us give thanks on this special day in a moment of reflection or prayer, according to your practice or belief. We give thanks for our university and recommit ourselves to its mission, that the tasks of education and research may continue to be carried out with integrity. We give thanks for the vision of our founding principal, Lord Lindsay, who directed that Keele exist for the pursuit of truth in the company of friends. The university's foundation also drew on the historic motto of the Sneed family, to thank God for all. May that spirit of friendship and thankfulness continue to be fostered by all at Keele. We give thanks for our graduates as they conclude this stage of their education. May their skills and qualifications be used for good in their communities and beyond. We give thanks for all staff who have taught and supported them in their learning. May they know the lasting impact their work has had and the change they have enacted in the lives of our graduates. We give thanks for the families and friends present here and around the world. Let us acknowledge with gratitude the love, care, and encouragement that they have given and continue to show towards our students. May we look forward with hope to the future, that the successes of this university and its graduates will continue to grow, that the gifts we celebrate today will be used fruitfully, that the world may become a better place. May I invite you all to stand.
Before we draw an end to the ceremony, I'd just like to say a couple of things. The first is to thank all of those wonderful people who've helped you get your degrees, from family and friends and our wonderful staff here at Keele. It makes a huge difference. And when lockdown first happened, my wife and I, our 3 kids were all at university at the time. And having 3 kids trying to do online learning at home, I wouldn't say it was always the calmest of atmospheres at home all the time. So I know what a huge difference it makes to be able to achieve so much because you have the support from so many wonderful people. And the second is, I wish you a wonderful celebration and to go on from here and achieve amazing things and really use the experience you've had here at Keele and the friendships you've made as a real rock in your lives, as somewhere you can look back to with pride and you know you've achieved so much. So many congratulations and thank you to everybody for coming. The ceremony is now closed.